Welcome, welcome. Wrestling with Ski, except it's a special one. It is a fresh new beginning. This is Justin's Wrestling Roulette, episode 1, where he comes up with all the stuff, and I just get to sit here, and all this says is, welcome, what we're doing, whatever he says, write it down so I know what's actually in it when I type the thing up. Closing thoughts, bye-bye. So there's actually nothing on here.
In other words, in big capital letters at the end, shoot from the hip.
And shoot to kill.
That too. From the hip.
Think if you could stump me. It's like Stump the Schwab when it used to be on ESPN. That guy knew way too much.
Oh boy.
I only watched it twice, but yeah, whole new thing. And it seems like a good way to branch off of everything.
Complete and utter randomness.
Yeah, instead of, talking about the programming every week and throwing a little extra stuff in there, I figured you guys can hear this delectable voice every Monday and Friday. And then we're going to try to do it on Wednesdays,
Yep.
God willing, depending on how everything works out, family, weather, work, sickness, disease, plagues, all kinds of weird stuff's happening. So, but it would be like a Wednesday night thing. And really, I think I text you I was like, maybe we could fit in one. And then this is just the perfect way because this can cover literally everything. You can be in there. It could be Justin's show. I know I'm talking a lot right now, but
many elephants to address. That's basically what it is. Like all the stuff that
lots of elephants and just even old random stuff that he sees and we laugh about. Like,
yes,
again, I watched SmackDown.
Yeah, I did too.
I don't know why it doesn't ever record.
The night after, I
watched it.
I
think last night after I watched the truck race.
Yeah,
I think that was last night.
Yeah, I smushed Raw and SmackDown in the one. Yeah.
But it was good to see Stone Cold and Booker T.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube. Actually, they cut off on YouTube. Even on the network, you don't get to see him.
Oh no!
Stone Cold singing Sinatra. Like,
no.
Was it actually out there?
My youngest was laughing. My oldest came up and he's like, "That's pretty funny." And I say, "Well, you know what? Let's go on YouTube." Which there is the full 8-minute and 43-second clip of the whole thing. No cuts, no nothing. The whole clip.
There sure wasn't last year when I went looking for it. Wasn't why? Because Jesse needed a laugh.
I found it, and what I'll do since I already searched it, it's probably my search history. Yeah. I'm going to repost it to the page. That way, for everyone's enjoyment. And then we started looking at random clips, and then I came across on Peacock. There's your plug. The top Raw 100 moments, and we started watching that. Got down to about 65, and then it was bedtime. So we're going to finish that this afternoon on this awesome rainy day.
Peacock, there's your shout out. You'll get no shout out from me. But yeah, and share it to the Twitter page too. Don't forget we have that wrestling ski, because it turns out wrestling with skis, heaven forbid, too many letters, because whatever, wrestling ski though. So I'm on there, and I have been trying to live tweet out during every show that I'm going to do it during the premium live events. Yeah. And whatever ones I watch, just check it out though. Go on there. Videos still go on there, and all kinds of stuff that you don't see come across Facebook at all gets put up there.
And since you said premium live event, let's address the first elephant I'm going to talk about, which is a constant elephant in the room. Well, Roman Reigns ain't going to be at Money in the Bank, but we'll get a Universal title match between him and Riddle and SmackDown, which is going to be a complete waste of time. Maybe a good match on Riddle's part, maybe some cool, interesting things. We'll see.
We know who's going to
win. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. It's this thing I think this would be what Money in the Bank, I think, is going to be the second premium live event or pay-per-view event, as your old school people like to put it, is going to be the second event in a row that there's no championship match, or is it the third? I couldn't remember what that article said. Let's see here.
Nope.
Last time he wrestled was WrestleMania, so this would be number 2.
This will be 3 because he wrestled at WrestleMania Backlash, except it was
Yeah,
a
but he
six-man
did, but
tag.
it wasn't a
Yeah,
it wasn't
it
a
was a six,
title
that's what I
defense.
said. It
Sorry,
was a six-man tag. So
correction, title defense. Let me
this will
let
be
me
this will
clarify
be
it.
this will be his
Yeah, this will
third.
be the third one without a world title
This is the
defense.
first time in a month we're even seeing him.
Exactly.
Here we go.
So
You gave him both belts. Here's a great one. We saw Brock Lesnar more on that last run than we've seen Roman since he won both belts, when they put the whole thing on him. Like, Brock was showing up on Raw and SmackDown, and just every week you'd see him. Like, he didn't stay away. And we haven't seen the champion in a month.
Exactly.
I don't care how much you're hurting or whatever
Hate,
the hell.
hate to say it, but that genius idea from Dan Stevens sounds pretty good right now.
Well, it's not even genius. Like, I've been praying for it. There's no point. Do what Brock did after what? Screw it. What did it?
Yeah.
I walked away. I quit. Done. Like, no one has to worry anymore. But no, he's just gonna hold on to them till the end of time, apparently. At least we're not hearing any more stuff going into Money in the Bank about allegedly guaranteeing a championship match at WrestleMania. Thank God they're now back.
And
that the wordage has switched to anytime they want. Like, good, so you're gonna keep it how it should be.
And speaking of that leads me to the second elephant in the room. What if Cody Rhodes did not hurt his pectoral muscle? Do you think he would have been a shoe-in to win the Money in the Bank? I'm thinking yes. Just because I think Vince McMahon is all chips in, no pun intended to the, behind me here. But is it safe to say that, it would have been Cody?
Yeah. I mean, the way they've been building him, the way they had him build, the whole thing was all him until they realized that it's kind of hard to sell out a football stadium when you're literally giving us absolutely nothing on the card.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe it or not, when there's no matches that anyone cares about, no championship matches.
And now you've lost your only golden goose at this point, because your other golden goose, or do we even call him golden goose anymore? I don't know.
I call them choice words. Golden goose is not one of them.
Yeah, true. But now you have what? What are you really figuring out on Money in the Bank? Like, is it actually going to make the full 3 hours with a pre-show?
Like, how do you?
Probably not.
I just want to know, like.
And I still feel bad for those fans that bought them tickets, and Vince goes, "Oh, can't sell it out."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just pretty messed up.
Like, and I haven't liked it. I thought it was just dumb to have him have both, especially when they're going on about how he's getting ready to do his new contract, and he was cutting back on live events. And it's just sorry, what? Bye. What? That's just the perfect time. So now you're having him stay home because of this new contract. What you're saying, literally, probably more than likely is,
and
that's you knew everyone was burnt out on him. You knew that we were over the tribal chief, so now we're just never gonna see him.
Yeah.
But how about you had him drop the belts and go away for a couple of months? Everyone would have been stoked to see him come back.
Yeah,
because it was great. The first year.
Yeah, like my youngest,
second year.
My youngest is a big Roman Reigns fan, so it's like, okay, cool. Now when I actually take him for his first event, I have to make sure that the one and only tribal chief is actually going to be there, because that's like all besides that and Finn Balor, like those are his two.
Yeah, they SmackDown's coming to Raleigh here shortly. I'm like, yeah, but
is it worth it?
Like,
Cody, no Roman.
Like, they set themselves they set themselves up for it.
Yeah, like I definitely want to make sure that Cody is back.
Yeah, and
the goal is to get seating right at the corner, right before the stairs there, because I haven't done the math, but I'm sure it might be a pretty good % chance that weightlifting belt that would just tickle me pink. Like, seriously.
I want to sit on the exact opposite side when they come, just so I'm sit there right when they turn towards the stairs, just so I can hold up, so I could be like, total mark is it just. Oh yeah, it's only what. Like, what? You spent $300 for that ticket. You gonna watch anything? Nope. But you best believe every time they come flying towards me. So there'll be Justin and Dan. Like, really?
Yep.
Right. Hey, don't hate me because you ain't me. Hey, if we
Exactly.
can have Cesaro section signs and everything else, I deserve a sign. Here's your sign. And with how much she looks at WWE and goes, God,
Yeah.
so she'd rather go to AEW. At least if I was up front, at least that would,
Yeah.
be broken.
So so that brings me to successful surgery for Cody on Thursday, Wednesday. I don't know. Michael Cole said like 2 different days. 6 to 9 months. Worst case scenario. I think that brings it around the Rumble season. I think that's a shoo-in if Cody's cleared. Maybe not.
Who knows?
It could go either way. I mean, the obvious choice would be Cody, but then again, whatever the old man decides. I mean, I don't think Cody needs to win the Rumble at this point. I think it'd be too cliche. I would say if I were a betting man, the whole number 1 contender thing for Money in the Bank, not Money in the Bank. Excuse me. God, my brain is like scattered right now. I would say Cody. I think Cody would end up winning the Elimination Chamber, and maybe we see a 3-way at WrestleMania, depending if, again, another elephant I'll address later. Or do we see Cody win the Rumble? I mean,
or do we see Cody?
Depending if the belts are separated by then, which in that case, probably not, because it's the old man. It could be either way. But that leads me to the next elephant in the room. I know, again, Roulette, we're all over the place here, just like the ball going all over the place. Betting odds for Rock versus Roman. Who do you think wins, and who do you got? From a business standpoint and then a personal standpoint, what is going to be better for putting ass in seats?
I mean, no matter what,
it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good build-up.
When it comes to asses and seats, you're welcome, Tony Schiavone. You're welcome. Either way, it's The Rock. I mean, they can completely go and piss everyone off. It's still The Rock. He's going to draw.
Yeah.
And the way they just have Roman, I'm sorry, Vince just has too big of a heart on.
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean, The Rock comes back and wins. I mean,
or do we do the Cena effect where Rock wins this one and Roman has redemption the following year, or maybe
years down the road,
or do we do Roman wins and then Rock's redemption? I don't know. I don't think I would see that happening, but it's thought. I mean, they did it with Cena and Rock, which, again, by the way, that first Cena Rock match, just the jabs, the real life stuff, like you can watch. I think it's it's on the 24/7 or something like that. I think they had the Rock and Cena thing.
Yeah, they did one.
Again, do not get me wrong. That was probably the greatest back and forth full year promo on promo, tweet punches. Like, again, I was completely satisfied with that. Couldn't get any more real life, which that's what I'm hoping for this. I mean, again, Rock's got no commitments next year. Black Adam comes out in October. Can't wait. There's your plug. But really, I would say if Roman shows up at the Rumble, I think that's where it's going to begin. Maybe before. Again, like you had mentioned, maybe Survivor Series.
It's not the proper number like they do with everyone else, but I mean, they could have done like COVID and all that, screwed all kinds of stuff up. And I mean, it's just because it's his anniversary thing.
A year later, I mean, they could have done it, but I think I'm on board with you. I think Survivor Series, maybe we see, I know the Bloodline said no more 6-man tag match. Maybe we see Bloodline and 2 other dudes against whatever, since 5 other dudes. And then maybe we see Rock come out or something,
Roman goes out there, runs his suck hole, talks about everything. Suddenly, and everyone, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah,
have him be like Brock Lesnar, have him walk in the ring, smile.
I mean,
just walk away.
Me personally, I wouldn't mind, even if it's not on a pay-per-view, maybe the Raw after. We think, hey, Rock's coming back, Survivor Series. and it's going to do something. Maybe we get the next Raw. Roman's running his mouth. Rock comes out. We get a repeat of the whole Taker Triple H thing. They're nose to nose. Rock looks at WrestleMania sign. Roman Reigns turns around. There you go, Vince. It worked 2 other times. And maybe that's it. No words are said.
Hey, but I mean, look at the 2 other times who was involved in that.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, no offense to Roman, but everyone involved in all of that could have walked out and shot somebody.
Yeah.
And they still would have got a pop. But Survivor Series, I mean, it's a year later, but it's still technically a year anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, they could say what 26 years, whatever.
Well, if you think about it, from
25 to 26, it's still cool.
Yeah,
and
I don't think anyone's going to think like that except for us. But
I only say that because, no offense to Roman, but I think he's kind of officially proving, that he's now the new Lesnar. And I mean, we didn't see him for 2 months now.
Yeah,
he's not going to show him until SummerSlam, so I'm sure we're not going to see him again until Survivor Series because it's one of the big 3, 4 of the year.
Yeah,
SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania, it's one of the big 4.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to be there to do something. So it just makes sense because he'll actually be there. And again, I mean, there's no other reason why the busiest man in Hollywood literally suddenly has a whole entire year of his schedule
pretty much
completely cleared out with nothing to do.
I mean, and you got to think about it, like a lot of the projects he's involved in, they all release next year. So he kind of timed that pretty good because you've got Black Adam, you've got Fast. Is he in Fast, the last Fast? I don't know. They keep saying yes or no. I don't see much of that. I know there's going to be a Red Notice 2. I don't think that'll start filming until next year. Quote me if I'm wrong. But it's nice. Yeah, he gets that break and, we'll be able to kind of bring this nostalgia back to us kind of guys. And I think he can make it really personable, more personable than Cena and Rock.
Because they're actually
related. Yeah.
They're no shit blood line.
And speaking of that, so saw Raw last week. Do Street Profits dethrone
I wish
the Usos?
I wish. I just don't have faith.
I just, with Roman spending more time away, I think it's safe that the Usos don't need the tag title. I'm glad they're co-branding it now, which is nice, which would give more opportunities. Hey Vince, listen, and really be able to make something of it. Yeah. Me personally, I'm a fan of the tag team titles being unified just for the simple fact that now you can do both brands, which I know Fox is still kind of a stinker about having, the whole brand stuff, separation.
Hey, how many billions did they give Vince?
Yeah.
They can have whatever they want on their show. That was a lot of zeros for something for something that right now
kind of
and for everyone that I know, if you saw this, you're one of the people that was on social media and all that saying that SmackDown needed to save itself, and then they put on a kick-ass show this week. It was all right, but there was a bunch of, I'm sitting there going we all know what's gonna happen. We all know what's gonna happen. There was a lot of just bad. And Xia Li might have got hurt. That's because homegirl straight punched her in the face. There you go. Hey, throw those.
This is roulette. It's forever changing because this is completely random.
But I just with Roman not being there and the way they've built everything, I just don't see anyone using their brain and getting the titles off the Usos just because someone in the damn family has to be doing something, and that still gives Heyman the job, and And by the way, Paul, thank you for the line of the week. Pin him, you schmuck.
Fact.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me a good chuckle last night watching SmackDown. Pin him, you schmuck. I was sitting there but thank you, Paul. I pretend Michael Cole isn't there.
And speaking Speaking the continuation of the bloodline, and this is not even in my notes since we like to call it roulette. What do we think of Sikoa and Apollo Crews? Good pairing.
Uh,
I saw the meme this past week.
I know
Yeah. I think personally, Apollo going back down. Thank God there's no more accent. At least that's the smartest idea the old man has come up with.
See the meme with Triple H?
Yeah.
Our face where Apollo no longer has the accent.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll see. Go like, yay! Well, that's all you had to do. Everyone wanted to shit on it so bad. If you just got rid of the stupid.
I think it's a good pairing tag team wise because it could really put a hell of a match on with them being as a tag team. I mean, Sikoa, the Samoan blood runs through the veins. He puts on good matches, and then with Apollo Crews, well, Apollo Crews has always been me personally. I've always liked Apollo Crews' work when they allow him to be Apollo Crews. I really think the whole Nigerian thing with Commander Aziz kind of again that whole plateau effect. Okay, this is where you're at, and this is where you're not going. So. Developmental wise, great to put a Crews back on NXT along with other kind of superstars that have been kind of in and out of NXT to kind of shed some more guidance on the younger talent. I'm all for it. Hopefully they just do something right with it.
Put this nicely because it's not Apollo's fault.
Yeah,
he was only down there for like 2-3 months, like maybe 4 when they first got him there. There was no character development. There's like, what, he's really good, get him up here. And then they did him one of the biggest disservices they've done to anybody.
Yeah,
really
had
no time to develop character or ability to talk.
And I'm surprised, and not intended to insult, but I'm surprised Dusty never said anything about, hey, let's keep him down here, which again, Dusty, I know has all the faith in the talent that he's personally taken on, which again, Apollo was one of those.
And do you really think Vince gives a damn what Dusty says?
No, that's the thing. And to me, Vince bringing Apollo up so quick was kind of like a kick in the balls to Dusty. Like if he would have stood down there maybe 3 more, not even 3 months, maybe a month or 2, and really nailed things down with Dusty, I think it would have went further with what it was.
I think that they should have kept him down there. Like, I mean, they didn't have the North American title then, so that.
Yeah, if they would have had that, I would I agree. Maybe 6 months at least.
Maybe like 6 months to a year. If they had that, give him a title run, let him work with a lot of people. Because if he has a title, no matter what, he's gonna have to come out there and he's forced to run and suck. And
exactly.
Guess what? Kick him into the fire. What? Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
And that's the thing. That's the biggest thing. And I don't know if you saw I'm pretty sure you saw it. I posted Dusty's birthday where he's there with, like, here's Dusty and there's all the talent. Like that's when it was.
Yeah, it was.
And not again. No. I mean, again, night and day between Paul and Vince. But that was when it mattered. Those talent in that picture have made something of themselves. Yeah. And that just goes to show you the thinking process between Vince and Paul. And if you don't know who Paul is, that's Triple H, obviously.
He has a very large nose, and he's
for talent. And
he's got a $2
for a wife.
For a wife. Yeah. Again, Justin posted it. Find the thing. It's not that far down there, but it's funny. I don't care who you are. Triple H was sitting there watching it, laughing his balls off.
Exactly.
They were all just, I'm going to go big glass of milk. And everyone's just sitting there but I think that completely, why they did it that way. I have no idea how they, why. And again, does Vince care? No, like Dusty down there in that incarnation of NXT. And granted, when he left, they had Regal down there still, which was,
which was good. Yeah. Like that carried on.
Yeah. That was, magnificent in the best way possible. But the way like Dusty and I'd say Regal, like the way they did it, like for talent to actually build them compared to Vince, like they're what Vince used to be when he was one-on-one with people like the Stone Colds and the Rocks to build them and make superstars. And now you always listen to Pritchard when he's on it, like, Vince doesn't have the time to do that. Like, how? He has a million people that work underneath him doing everything. I'm pretty sure he can actually meet people and make actual characters and actually attempt to build something, which they don't do. They bring them up for a month or two, they throw them in a tag team together, and then you don't see them for months on end.
Exactly. But then that brings me to the next thing, man. This is going.
See, I want to interject just one thing.
Okay.
When it comes down to Apollo being down there.
Oh yeah, let's finish the thought since we were kind of
it's just
sidetracked there.
It's a big one. Okay.
Yeah.
Since they brought Ziggler and Rude there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that worked. Natty, she called out the whole locker room. That was there for about 10 minutes. Apollo, there's no reason to call him up. And two, on top of that, do you consider it a good sign or a bad sign for NXT that literally every other challenger that Breaker has is a main roster guy? Like, he got done with Ziggler Root, switched over to Gacy. Done with Gacy, switch over to that. Before that, he had Ciampa to Ziggler to Gacy, and now Apollo's down there. Like, if he's down there, he's going to be working with him. Like, is that a good or a bad sign that they continuously every other month bring a talent from up there just to like fill a void? Like,
dear God, that last 30-second sentence just blew my freaking brain.
Yeah, see, when you think about it like that, that's a problem with my brain. Like, every other time it's someone from the main roster. Like, how bad of a sign is it for talent? And they're talking about releasing more people. Who?
Yeah.
You guys have so few people. You guys had to say that in Summer Rae was a legend at the Royal Rumble. Legend. Summer Rae.
Okay,
she danced good with, she looked good dancing with Fandango, which by the way is still like what are you doing? The Fandango. Like, we're sitting like, it's taking over the world, which God bless you, however the hell you're keep it good. Hey,
you saying Summer Rae legend is killing?
No, I'm just saying they called, like, they're so low that they had to do that. So how is there anyone
they were
else
desperate
left?
for the Rumble. Okay,
that's what happens when you fire 120 people in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That too. But I just still I think it's a bad sign when they have to keep bringing it, except for Apollo. Yeah. Like Ziggler, I mean, whatever. I thought Natty should have stayed longer.
Ziggler and Rude worked out perfectly. They were able to bounce between, and it takes special people to do that. Like, being able to balance between SmackDown and NXT, great.
And we got to see Breaker and people go up and be on Raw to do stuff, to see crowd reaction and all that, which is
which is what they should do.
Yeah, which is really good. Put them on, get them off that platform. I was just thinking out loud, like Natty, I think should have stayed longer. Like, you call it the whole roster, like 2 people. Guess what? You're gonna have your match with Ronda, and you're gonna lose.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you got to think about it. Natty's a different story. So Natty comes down, puts the roster on notice, and then like 2 or 3 people from the roster or from the NXT go to the main roster. So then what do you do? Because
it's just
those said people in that cut scene with Natty. Hey, guess what? They're on the main roster now. So what the hell is the difference?
I just think that it's better for people like Lash and Tatum Paxley and Henley and Sophia Cromwell. And look, I can actually name enough. Elektra Lopez. I think Indy Hartwell. By the way, Indy, that big boot to Mandy when she was on the apron, completely missed her face. Yeah. By the way, camera guys, holy shit, did you suck on every single show this week?
Oh my God, Raw with Bobby Lashley? Oh my God, that blew my freaking mind.
5 shows this week. And I saw really, really, really bad camera work in all of them. Every one.
Like the whole thing with Lashley and that, like, I'm like, okay, can we just keep it at one angle and the correct angle?
Did you see Mox in the main event with numbnuts on Dynamite? Like, here comes the headshot to the chair. I mean, you could see his head is Mox was
and the whole Lashley thing. It was like, dude, just, oh my God, just.
That's why the product sucks, because you can see a lot of that when you're live. You can pick up on a lot of that. Believe it or not, there's screens above the ring that people are looking at when they. A lot of those buildings.
For that Lashley segment there, like, my wife's like, what's going on with the camera?
At at least he could talk, but at least I think he's talked better the last.
Oh yeah, like
Right.
this past Monday was 10 times better than
Yeah.
anything I've
And
ever
again,
seen.
you could tell he was just being him. Like I just don't. I
Yes,
just
it
don't
was
think he has
fluid.
it. Yeah,
He
he's
was
just-
comfortable. He was I wouldn't say 100% comfortable, but a lot better.
He's a mellow, gentle giant. Like him, just trying to be a complete miserable, vile prick.
Yeah.
It's just he's
Yeah.
good. He's good at the character if he has a mouthpiece, but when he has to actually verbalize that,
Yes.
you can tell it's unnatural 90% of the time. Like I like
Yeah.
him as a baby face doing the same thing he was doing works because it's fluid coming out of his mouth. It's not
All right. So
Anyway.
so we're gonna stop from the wheel real quick and go over to the other side of the fence. Atlantic title. Is Tony Khan becoming Oprah? You get a title, you get a title, you get a title, you get a title. Like, is it too much?
You know what my favorite part about the All Atlantic Championship is? Yes.
I think it'll help because of the overloaded roster.
Well, yeah, but guess what my favorite part of it is? It's a glaring, are you stupid kind of thing, but guess what my favorite part of that is? Think of the far right side of the title. Right up front. Just imagine that belt in your head. Here, I'll spell it out in some English for y'all. Don't worry. This means I don't have to mention it tomorrow. If it's called the All Atlantic Championship, why is there a Japanese flag on it? I don't know if you guys have ever looked at a map or have ever watched, I don't know, anything about World War II, but Japan is sure is in the Pacific. Again, I don't know if anyone, I'm still looking at it going, K.
Not
Got it?
What?
Wrong ocean, asshole. Wrong ocean. How about you stop doing a million commercials about, about Asian American pride and all this islander, like, and all that? How about you just learn some goddamn geometry?
Geography.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm losing my mind over that every time they're like,
there's difference. Hey, there's difference between math and crayons.
Hey, all I know is every time I look at it, like, this is gonna be so they're going All Atlantic Championship. I'm like, it's a Japanese flag. What? They're only a couple thousand miles apart.
Hey, maybe the belt creator just forgot to cut it at a certain.
Moron, just have the flag behind it so we can't see the big red dot. God. Like every
honestly,
time we're like,
honestly,
this
I
could
think
be a good thing. It could be more.
Yes,
and then
it will.
There's a Japanese flag on it.
It'll give something between mid card to world title level. Really, it's going to give some more opportunities instead of a quarter of the roster, sitting on their thumb, going, "Okay, what do I do?" Hey, my first 2 weeks have been great. Now I'm sitting here.
Hey, by the way, Tony, my brother, as everyone is still talking about, MJF going off, it's funny that he calls you that you have an All Atlantic title that you came up with a Japanese flag on it, and you announce it a week after he calls you a big, stupid, useless mark.
Mm-hmm.
And there you are, proving just how uneducated and dumb. Like, come on, man. God. And if they put Britt Baker anywhere near the title picture,
dude, boy,
we know Tony's going to lose. We all know Tony's going to lose to Thunder Rosa. They're not going to just keep Britt far away.
Well, especially
Britt did enough damage to the title.
Especially with Thunder Rosa feeling that she's being underutilized. I did see
Jesus
that.
Christ, that's what happens when he hires 45 people a day.
Yeah. And I see Thunder Rosa doing more stuff outside of AEW. I guess I don't know.
I see her
obviously all the time. Like,
yeah, on social, I follow her on the socials, and she's here.
Yeah,
she's here, there, and everywhere.
Oh yeah, she puts it all in.
Yeah. So I give her all the credit in the world. I mean, has there been some sloppiness in there? Yeah. But is she over? Yes. Is it her fault that Britt didn't sell anything in their title match together? No, that was kind of like the same effect between Rousey and Flair
That's
Except
kind of reminded me of.
At least their I Quit match was good. I will give them
That
Charlotte
yeah.
and Ronda, I was going.
Quick shout out. Yes, I was actually happy with out of anything that comes out of Flair. No offense, but that's like a completely separate episode. But here we go, changing it up here. We're going to go back to Hollywood. Came across an article, Chris Hemsworth, if anyone doesn't know, is they're still working on the Hulk Hogan biopic. Dude, that guy has put in the time, the studying.
Biopic. Get it right.
Yeah, whatever,
I don't want anything to do with bio. What I already had to wear enough CBRN mop suits, but I don't want to hear the word bio. No, I hear biopic. I'm thinking, let's get on the mop suit. My God.
But still in development. They were thinking about next year. It's still not there.
He's putting in the work though.
Oh yeah, like I think it's probably going to be one of the best depicted. Besides, here's your plug, Young Rock. Again, big fan of that series. But I really think they're taking the time to really, and I think they should. All things aside of what Hulk Hogan has done that hasn't been appropriate. I'm glad they're taking the time, and so is Chris Hemsworth. Besides in the gym, but really applying himself to this, this character.
Yeah. And he always does. I've been keeping tabs on it because I know they're still, way out on it. But from everything, I mean, he's again, I've never heard it. On the Young Rock thing, I've never watched it.
Oh, dude,
I just yesterday, let me explain my life. I remember what I watched. I watched something in the morning. I don't know what the hell it was. Might have been. No, I watched Dynamite Live. I don't know. I watched something. We went to Wilmington. And then I got back and I watched all the qualifying that I missed from F1 and Cup Series and the trucks. Then I watched the truck race. Then I watched SmackDown. And then this morning, I woke up to watch the F1 race.
I saw that this morning. I saw the recap at the gym this morning.
Watched that. Then it ended. And I watched Rampage. Then I went to the store. Then I did this. And then I'm immediately going to go back out to where we're done with this while it's uploading. And I'm going to go watch the IndyCar race that's on right now at Road America just to follow that up with watching the Cup Series race. So then tomorrow I could put all this into a fancy bow and not have to watch anything. So I can actually get back to working out. Yeah, I have not stopped between racing and wrestling. And hell, I even watched some motocross in there too from Germany.
There you go.
I was all over the place. But
Das is
it's on my thing. It's on my list. I mean, sooner or later, the good thing is, I mean, it really isn't a good thing. They don't stop racing. And then by the time they stop racing, football's in full swing. But I'm a Raiders fan. So guess what? Nothing for me to watch anyway. Just heartbreak, sadness, depression, anger, rage, psychosis. Me just sitting there going. But yeah, it's totally on my list. It's always hey, watch this. But there's 3 hours of that I have to. Man, but I've only heard good things about it from you and just everyone on the internet. Even and if everyone on the internet has only nice things to say, which is saying something, because no one on the internet knows how to be nice about
true
anything. It's on my list, but I think it's going to be really good. It was the wrestler was great. They actually sink their teeth into things.
Yeah,
and I know Chris he's all in when it comes to whether
it's
acting. His workout app that no matter what he does, he's always in it. So I know he's not going to completely suck. It's pretty much the moral. I don't have the time of the day to sit down and do any of that.
All right. So we're back to elephants.
Elephants.
A big elephant, which is, I don't know. This is very,
I like elephants more than jackasses.
This is very mind boggling, but I kind of understand because I've read a few articles on it. So the Judgment Day. Edge is out, Balor's in. I've heard reason why Edge is out because they're going with the mystical, magical bull crap. Also the fact that they lost Cody as a babyface. From a business aspect, I can understand why. So Judgment Day beats up on Edge. Edge goes bye-bye. We wait a few weeks. Edge grows out the hair, adds some extensions, and we're back to the rated R superstar. Which me personally, I think will set up a good match with Finn Balor. That is the That is the only logical thing I can think of. And maybe not Money in the Bank, but I'm thinking SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
that'd be a big match.
Judgment Day gets some kind of match at Money in the Bank, and then we see Edge because it's about 3 weeks out.
Yeah, Edge shows up.
Bam, there's your match.
And again, I hate to agree with Jim Cornette. Except for the fact that he's eating better, he's going to outlive Vince Russo, so we could piss on his grave, whether he has to get rolled there or not. They had a shot. They could have done it with Seth, like finally just make the turn there. Judgment Day can keep building until it's finally time to appropriately do it, not just rush and be like, okay, you're gone, bye.
Yeah.
And they could have done it organically that way. Seth's a human being. He goes back to, he at least changes his character into something good. And that way, he could keep going. By the time Cody comes back, they turn on Edge.
But
guess what? They could do it. They could do it Rumble time, Chamber time. They turn on him. WrestleMania match right there. Seth gets to finally do, they could have done it that way too. Or I get why they did it. And I don't blame him for them trying to get more mystical and hokey horse that we know they did not need it. Like they were.
I think honestly, Finn, if they do it, because I saw it in Community Creations on WWE 2K22. There's your plug. Somebody actually made the Finn Balor with, instead of the red, the purple. I think that would fit. If he were to bring the Demon back, I think that'd be kind of cool to change it up. But if you didn't see, I think I posted it to the page where things come full circle. The time that Edge went to NXT and talked to Balor. Yeah. I love the fact that Edge's this last run for him.
They said, screw it, I'm done. I don't want any part of it, but we're going to do this.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like everything that Edge has done over the years before you officially got cleared, we're seeing, and it's great. Again, Edge is like, it's probably not 10 years, probably not 5 years, maybe not a year, but like, I'm thinking not next year, but maybe the following, he finally hangs it up. He's getting that stuff that he's the interactions and bringing it full circle to push the talent.
Yeah, I just don't want him to put. How do I put this delicately? Or how do I put this like an adult? I don't want him to put a timeline, the timetable for when he's, because if he tells Vince what, I got like 6 more months of me, Vince will be, no matter what's on the contract, to be like, cool, what, you can keep on a Legends contract, do an appearance here and there, but I want him to make sure that, because for all those years he kept going back and he was in NXT and he showed up here and I want him to make sure that he gets everything that he wants to get through with all the stuff that he did for all those years when he still just showed up. Like again, when he showed up at NXT or showed up, and speared Elias. You want to know why I love Toronto? That was still, sorry, Elias. That was that SummerSlam. To get booed out of the building, Edge spears him. His wife doesn't know he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
I hope he doesn't. Because he's putting a timeline on it, and I'm afraid that he's going to end up rushing through. Like he's going to end up rushing through some stuff. Like he could do so much without having to be physical to tell stories and save his body, and I just don't want to see him rush to try it because he still has a list of things.
Yeah,
he wants to do. I just don't want to see him.
Me personally, I'm thinking 3 more years. 3 sounds appropriate to
appropriately do everything. He could still take breaks after, like he could still without
like how Judgment Day beat up on him this past Monday.
I loved how he still kept fighting though.
Exactly.
Put him through a table, kept going. Did this, kept going. I like that. But I just don't want to see him put a timeline on it because once you put a timeline on it, then he's there's still stuff to do and stories to tell. But he could rush through them.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't want to see, because this granted, Cody getting hurt probably a big part of it because they still could have like drug it out and did little hokey.
But again, the whole magic hokey stuff Edge isn't for either.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like, and kept the hokiness to a minimum just to like, and Edge would do it for the company just to get them to the point that they need to get to for them to do the story. Like we all know he would, like, he's a company guy. Why do you think AEW is like, we'll give you a boatload of money? I got to talk to Vince first, or whoever it was that offered him the contract when he knew he was going to I got to go talk to Vince first. He's that kind of guy. He's loyal to him because he gave him everything that he has. And I think he would do a little bit of it, and Vince would be nice enough to cut back on some of it, or at least
Yeah.
not have him involved in it. But I just don't want him to put a time, because I always feel like they put a timeline on it. It's kind of like this. They rushed it. They had no choice. But I mean, they could have done it another way to not rush
Yeah.
it. Have Seth say the nice words, tell me your respects, and walk out. Boom. Suddenly, Seth turns face because he can play either side with his character.
Oh yeah.
And they could have drugged that out until Cody was back, just to, properly build it. And we all felt that they rushed it. And again, it was probably because of the injury. Yes. Is him and Balor going to kill it? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I just don't want him to put it. Once they put a timeline, I just feel they rush it, and that's when stupid.
Well, and again, he's not really. I mean, that's a pretty big like.
Well, I know,
gap.
but
So
but
you know
it depends on what he wants
like,
to do, and he's going to want to take breaks in between because his body is. I mean,
and that's the thing though.
When he's out there, he's getting mauled when he's out.
Oh yeah, and what they're doing with him is not predictable as what it used to be. That whole Randy Orton Edge thing of like, oh, he's an old man, blah blah blah, and grabbing his neck.
By the way,
they've gotten past that thing.
By the way, like that was amazing to see him just sit there and hold his neck like a feeble old man for months on end.
Yeah,
Vince is going, what? He needs to die? Why? Because he looks too old. How about you stop having him crawling around like he's a paraplegic? Sorry.
Yeah.
A cripple like me.
Yeah.
Every time he gets hit, he's like, what? Let him be Edge. Why? It's amazing. You stop pulling the old man card and look what him and Brian and Roman did at Mania. What? Couldn't tell he was an old man then when he was out there doing it.
It's just glad that they're fitting Balor in and actually
giving him
using
something.
him. Yes,
he was kind of like
it works. Like
he's kind of like Ricochet.
Yeah.
Just in a way of I hate seeing him get championships.
Yeah.
Because he's not really going to do anything with it. He's just going to get mauled, and they don't have any. Like they had zero reason to call up Ricochet when they did. They put him and Black together. They were a tag team for 2 months, had a million tag team title shots, and then we didn't see him again. And he did nothing until he was IC champion. Like that.
Yeah.
He's another one of those. Like what was like? Call him up if you're going to have a reason.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just going to have them sit there and catering, no offense, not trying to talk trash about anyone, because it's not their fault that they have nothing for them. But like, what the hell was the point? Because he could have gotten so much better and had so many more moments being down there in NXT, especially in that NXT, instead of just calling them up for nothing. That
so
kind of pisses me off.
Speaking of Ricochet, so Gunther is the IC champion. Future plans, like what are you thinking? Like, what's believable?
I mean, I know they want to throw Drew at Roman when they're at the Clash of the Castle and stuff.
Well, that's going to be a triple series anyways because of
Sheamus?
just being overseas.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Especially if
that.
Rich Holland hurt his knee, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's doing everyone a favor. So
it is. So Sheamus could fit what they have on SmackDown. Madcap could finally get do that last laugh match. He could get rid of Corbin.
Yeah,
and
true.
Then Corbin can come back months later as the Lone Wolf, and he could just attack Gunther because we could believe I could believe the Lone Wolf, Corbin, and Gunther.
Yeah. I just don't want it to go to the wayside. You know what I mean?
That's what I was afraid.
Please make it believable. Don't.
Which is why I put the text out there. And I made the post, and then Dan commented on it.
Honestly, that Intercontinental title is so ugly. So ugly. Like,
can we just go back to the Attitude Era one?
Either that or back to good old Whitey.
Yeah.
The
only way that
I liked when Rhodes brought it back, and then
the only way it should come back. The only way it should come back, the white one, is Cody.
Yeah.
Sorry, he did it once, but I'd have him do it again. I wasn't happy when they got the new Intercontinental title. Then I saw it. And then Drew. Everyone, I know people in the wrestling side. You haven't heard the name Drew in a while. The one is great. Now, no, it's not. Now the U.S. title. It took me a couple weeks, but the more I actually got to look at it, I was like,
I did. That change was good, and it kind of went away from the WCW.
Yeah, that was
look.
That was
so
more. I'm more okay title-y. I like the way they got the red, white, and blue mixed in. Like, it took me a while looking at it to actually like it. So sorry, what the attitude? Like the Attitude Era one was fine. The one, Cody, when he brought back the white one, that was fine. All this, like, it's just, and they've done nothing with it, which is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Shinsuke, sorry, no offense. That was a joke of a run. Since they
I
got
think
into the main
he
roster.
defended that. He defended that what, twice before he lost
Yeah,
it?
like since like his whole main roster has just been a joke. But I don't remember what we were talking about before that. Gunther. My only big takeaway, Ludwig Kaiser, like he deserves better, is no offense.
And not the role.
Yeah, no offense to Giovanni Vinci. When you watch SmackDown,
yeah,
and there's Gunther in the middle, and there's Ludwig Kaiser. All right, there's Marcel Bartel. You're welcome. Yeah, and they do the little post, like it looks naked without Eichner on the other side of him. Like it looks wrong with just the two of them standing there. Because we saw it with them for so many years.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sorry, in NXT at the end, he was carrying those tag matches with, like, he was doing a lot more. I mean, granted, Bartel carried them for a long, like, but at the end there, you're watching Eichner do all kinds of stuff, and it just doesn't look right without them.
And honestly, I think that would be if they were to bring Kaiser in with just as a trio, back as a trio. Yeah. You give a reason to take the SmackDown tag titles off the Usos, Street Profits or whoever, take the other titles off the Usos and give the Usos a break. Like really actually invest in again, always a constant topic, the tag team division. Like just do something with it.
Give them a break, but keep them on the road.
Exactly.
No offense, Jimmy. You don't necessarily do good when you're not on the road.
Yeah.
You're like Jeff Hardy. He was always clean and sober till he was hurt and he had to stay at home. Then he got his ass in trouble.
Yep.
Same thing with Jimmy. He's on the road. What? You never hear his name. The second he's home, he has to sit there for a month or two. Bad things start happening. No offense.
Or when he's not on the road, he's on the side of the road.
Yeah. At least, and part of it though, I mean, you got to think when you're out there taking those bumps day after day. I mean, like what your body stays conditioned to. When you're sitting there at home, with all those injuries, they start hurting a little bit more when you're not sitting there doing it anymore, which then causes more problems. And by the way, as I'm talking about that, quick shout out to whoever the hell thought it was a good idea that Jeff Double or Nothing beats the Young Bucks.
Dude, I was literally seriously good.
No, can't be in the match. Shut up.
Yeah.
Can't be in the match on the next 3 days later because Jeff was too banged up because I don't know, he thought it was a good idea to swanton off the top rope.
He couldn't remember anything.
Splatter on the steel steps. Like he was too banged up for that. But 2 weeks later, you're putting him in a ladder match, a 3-way ladder match for the tag team titles. Yeah. Whoever thought he was too beat up 2 weeks ago, but he could do a ladder match. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Why? Because it's Jeff. You're not going to go out there and beat the dog shit out of himself.
Yeah, especially when he doesn't remember the match.
Especially as the Hardys never held the AEW titles. They're going to try to do it one more time.
And it's pretty sad that Jeff doesn't really remember that match, And that was actually literally like after what we were just talking about, I was going to roll into.
Oh, well, see, I could read your mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's time to hang it up. I'm sorry. After
not
that,
yet. Not yet. They just need to stop beating this. Like, Jeff,
Jeff
doesn't know how to stop.
I know. I'll meet you
he
halfway.
Got there. He's jumping off of ladders and like entryways there. I mean, he landed on top of all the merch boxes, but he's putting people through tables. He's swantoning off the top rope to land on the steel stairs. That feels like shit. No matter how well you land it.
And just a little observance there. I did read an article. You see how he's landing his swanton bombs now to take less of which is smart. But
should have done that a long time ago.
They could have let Sting do the high spot in that match. I'm sorry. They could in a different way, but like. No,
but it would. But again, it's Jeff.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
And they won't let him not. I think he's one of those. He's not like, which is why they said him and Edge and all. Like every time we went out there to do it again, we felt like we had to do more and more. The top last time, and Jeff's been that his whole life.
Yep.
No way in hell is he going to let someone else take that bump, even if he can't stand the next day. He doesn't care.
Exactly.
He doesn't. I love Jeff to death. Go back and watch those TLC matches at WrestleMania. Watch the second one. Lita's stripping. Spike Dudley's putting people like all hell's breaking loose. That was that.
Exactly.
Edge knocked himself on the boing. And there's Edge when he talks about it later. I don't know what I was seeing stars, so I don't know how Jeff was still even like alive.
Yeah.
Boing. Edge's face going. Well, that's because his head just splattered off the mat from like, 15, 20 feet and boing. But yeah, carry on. I'm sorry, but I just him like, how do you go from he's too hurt to have a tag match because he's feeling it to a ladder match? He's going to bounce off a ladder at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Hang it up? No. Be smarter about everything because I have noticed going. He doesn't look like that sucked nearly as much for him. But he's only had one gear his whole life, and
so speaking of hanging things up and maybe unhanging things up. Did you see that whole Ric Flair calling out Vince for SummerSlam?
Vince, just ignore it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he's in pretty good shape when they show videos with him and Jay Lethal, but Jay Lethal knows how to handle properly. If you get somebody in the ring that doesn't know how to do that, then there's a problem. Like okay, Rick, okay, you've proven that you can still hang by the videos and training properly with somebody that knows the limits, but let it go. Just no. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Just like, okay, dude, okay, we get it. He proved himself by showing those couple videos with Jay Lethal. I get it. Okay. Just be done with it.
Here's the big one. How many of us, by a show of hands, have seen the movie The Wrestler? Who the hell wants to be the one in the ring or in the building to see it when it actually happens for real?
Yeah.
Sorry, Rick. You're almost dead in a coma a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it go. If you just paid your taxes while you were a bajillionaire in the 80s and all that, you wouldn't have even had to wrestle after your match with Shawn. That was the most perfect way to end a career ever. Hell, Cactus Jack against Triple H and Hell in a Cell was beautiful. Rick's match with Shawn was better. But I'm sorry, I love you. Boom, done. Except your stupid ass never paid your taxes. So you owed the IRS millions, and Vince's blank checks could only help you so much. Which, by the way, shout out to Vince McMahon, because he actually did legitimately say, here you go. He signed it and said, whatever the hell you need. Which means, Rick, shut the up with everything you ever have to say bad about Vince ever again the rest of your life. And as far as you're concerned right now, it's only going to last another month or two because you're going to die in the ring because you're a stupid son of a bitch. He doesn't need to happen. No one should, like, everyone be like, what? No. Why? We're not watching. I don't want to be there. So you can watch your hero die.
And speaking of stupid SOBs, which leads me into the next topic, can someone please shut Ryback's social media accounts up?
That'll never happen.
I'm sorry. Like, why would you claim that Vince McMahon supposedly called you up because of the whole Cody Rhodes injury? Like, he's so dumb. Like, no wonder no one's signing him. Just dumb. He's
been playing the let's get heat game for so long. Yeah, since his departure and all that.
I shouldn't be feeding into it, but he's so dumb. He's so dumb.
I don't even think that he's like, I don't even think it's dumb. I think that he's got his products. He has his podcast. And as long as he keeps pissing people off, everyone's going to keep talking about it. And he's going to stay there forever.
And I don't even follow his podcast or anything. I just see articles from other wrestling websites, and I'm like, why are you posting this? Why are you feeding in? Then it makes me want to feed in. I hate stupidity.
I follow
just like you do.
I follow him on the Twitterverse just because it's fun to read. I don't even read what he says. I read the comments. I'm like that meme. I'm just here for the comments.
Seriously, you completely ignore the feed or the tweet, and you're like, yep. That sounds about right.
There's gold in these here hills. Yes, there is. The roasting of Ryback. He'll never go on Comedy Central to get roasted, but God.
Yeah, because it's a constant roast.
He doesn't have to. It happens every day. Now, some of the stuff he says, there is some stuff in there, if you actually read them, where there is some insightful stuff, and you're like, yeah, well, he actually got that one. But a lot of it, again, he's got his supplements, which are actually, good. in his show, which he does talk to some people. I mean, I think a lot of it's just, I don't want to call it dumb because it's not nice to call.
Attention grabbing?
He's just trying to just to keep his name out there. Because I really don't think he has any intention of wrestling ever again.
Yeah.
So just keep his name relevant, which then keeps, the listeners in, because look at Howard Stern.
I want to make
more people that hated Howard Stern listen to Howard Stern than people that liked him just to see what the hell he was going to say next. So as long as he keeps himself relevant and no one really seems to like him, he can keep himself there. And I think that's what he's doing with all of that. If that makes any sense. Like, I think
speaking of relevancy,
we're very relevant, by the way.
Yeah. So we were kind of just, I know we didn't really touch full base on it. But again, I think this is going to be my last elephant. Everything else is kind of sporadic. Bray Wyatt, we didn't see him at Hell in a Cell. We didn't see him at Raw, even though it would have been 666.
Yeah. But
do you think he's signed with WWE and then they're just waiting for the right opportunity? Because again, Wyatt's in his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
I
think they're waiting.
I think they are too, and I don't think.
I know exactly where it is to go home. Like we all like all the references.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah.
I think he's just waiting.
Yeah. Again, I honestly think Vince is and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Vince is that much of a dick to the fact that I think he's just given him time.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Now that he switched it to Wyatt, like now that all the switches are done on social media and all that. Like if he was going to play the games, he would have played games a long time ago.
Again, the father-son relationship, according to a couple articles.
Very odd relationship.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
reportedly.
I don't think if he would have signed with somebody else, he would have done it by now.
Yeah.
So again, I'm thinking.
And no one can afford him.
Oh, but you think about it, Vince can, and when it's time,
no one else can.
When it's time, and he does come back, and again, I think his home is going to be WWE. Thank you, Undertaker. Keep convincing the higher powers that be. He's going to make up that contract in sales anyways for Vince. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to cost Vince that much for a contract. Just knowing that he was the number 2 merchandise seller.
I think it's timing. Yeah, like they had a really good.
When's the good time though?
SummerSlam.
That's what I was thinking.
If they didn't do it at Hell in a Cell, especially with Cody getting.
Oh yeah. Well, and again, I think the injury kind of changed the game on that.
Yeah, I think Cody could have won, and then Seth could have done the same attack afterwards. They could have done the handshake, like I respect you. He jumps up and attacks him, and then there comes the Fiend and wipes out Seth, and everyone leaves happy. We don't have to wait until anything else, and they could have had that happen.
I don't know. I think that would have been overloaded for me.
Oh yeah, but I mean, at least it would have made sense. But do the same thing he did on Raw, just have him just beat the bejesus out, and then we wouldn't even have to see him again for a couple weeks. We could just have Seth running around for a month or two about the Fiend just running his suckhole all the time, and no one would care. That's the good thing about Seth, where he is now. He can run around like a paranoid crazy person. No offense to Sammy, Seth does it better. Even though Hannah looks at Sammy, she goes, "He was in NXT. How many years ago did you show me that match?" Just a few. Like, Jesus Christ, he looks like he's aged 40 years. I know. What? Good for you, Sammy. What? You're pulling off the crazy guy. Yeah, even Hannah goes, "Oh my God, what? It's only been that many years?" Like, yeah, what? He looks like he's older than me now. What? He looked like he was younger than like Justin's kids. And now he's turned into an old man. But I think that would have been like the only, just because of trying to do it with Cody's injury, it would have given them, star power. Again, everything could have happened. They could have done the Seth thing. He could have turned face. He could have not attacked him. Bray could have showed up. They could have let Finn join Judgment Day and wait a couple months to build it out. And then when Cody can come back, so that way they could have more matches going to Mania, because now they're going to have Edge versus Balor burnt out before then. So what are they going to do with Edge then? I mean, like, they could have done so many things. That could have been the saving grace. Obviously, Bray made enough tweets. Bray was active enough. Bray put Wyatt back in his name, which when he left, well, then damn. So
Yeah.
there's, it's just how else would they get like
Yeah.
SummerSlam's the only thing that makes sense just because, or do they have him show up at month in the bank just to get extra ticket sales going into Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Tennessee Titans, in case anyone didn't know. In case none of y'all knew that. I'm sure everyone did, but because then he shows up and then they get a boost in that because everyone's going to want to see him. Like, no shit, he's back. I'm going. That could be one of those, but it has to be a big one. But I don't think he would put Wyatt anywhere near his name unless.
Yeah, true.
If he was going to screw with Vince, he would have done it by now.
I don't think I posted it to the page, but somebody actually took the time to look at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view poster, and if you zoom in really, really close, it's like finding
Where's Waldo?
playing Where's Waldo. Yeah. So
don't age us. Don't age us like that.
Yeah.
As far as people know, I'm a spring chicken, unless you look at my x-rays and MRI, like all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just coming up. They put Money in the Bank. I mean, they already moved to a smaller event. I think that was their big thing. It's like, we'll get a lot of people go to Allegiant Stadium. Boom. Suddenly there's the Fiend yoking dude off of the ladder. And like that, but like, sorry, what? No Roman, no title matches. We had one SmackDown match on the last pay-per-view total. Yeah, how about I'm not spending that much money to go to a football stadium? What? Go yourself. And I think and again, I hate to say it again, but they backed themselves into the corner.
As always.
By building like Roman as the end-all be-all. And who did they build behind him? They didn't even really build Drew behind him. Like, they built him up, and then they had him dealing with Happy Corbin, which literally just killed everything. No offense to Happy Corbin, it was still good, but it was all shenanigans, stealing desks with his sword through them, and it's just dumb.
Speaking of happy, you know what made me happy? The dress that Maurice was wearing on Raw, I was all happy about that.
Yeah, but they ruined it when we had a 5-minute conversation about Mike's balls.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was
well, I was doing dishes and cleaning and stuff during all of it, so I was like looking down. So I actually had like my senses were turned on to a million other things, so I had to hear the conversation about Mike's giant balls the whole time. I don't care what her. They kept growing
throughout the conversation.
I don't care what her. Yes, I don't care what her cut line was. I was doing dishes and cleaning, and I just please shut up. Please. Wait, if I knew where the remote was to this TV, because I haven't seen it in 6 months, literally moved all the couches, moved everything. I don't know where the TV remote went, but for the love of God, what I don't need to hear about Mike's balls. Don't care. I'd like to kick him in the balls. Hannah actually physically gets violent when he comes on the screen. Asks me if I could fast forward. I'm like, we're live, pal. Welcome, Gene. There I am. And then she looks just like Sid, except she looks like she's actually gonna kill me. What? I'm dead. What? We're live, pal. She doesn't get it, but she gets just as angry as Sid did.
But speaking of,
it was a good segment. It was a beautiful cut line.
That was about all the positive out of that. But
Riddle still looked good.
Oh yeah, Riddle's Riddle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to me, it's not going to be believable for the Universal Title match unless they allow him to do something that
I like that they at least let him get angrier.
Believable.
I like that they at least let him get angrier.
Yeah.
They at least let him do that because they never did forever. I remember the first time I ever saw his stupid ass. It was his first appearance on NXT, like at a takeover. Like I saw him because I turned it on like 2 minutes late, and he started the show. He's there. He's watching. Like, what? He started talking. Yep, nope. Push the center button on the PlayStation controller. I went,
not today.
Not today. No. Like, what? I can't deal with this. Now I love the guy. He can go forever. Look at all the matches. Him and Randy. He was doing a brunt of the work and the blows, and he's super talented. He hurts a lot of people's head. I think Dan recently, didn't he say he was starting to come around, or was it you? It was one of you two. Like, I'm so okay. What? I'm slowly,
no, I was fine.
I was fine. It was Dan. Like, fine. I'm slowly starting to come around. Like, why? Because in the ring, he's great. If you get past
It's just the pairing with Randy Orton really worked.
That put him. That did.
Not to give whoever that credit, but it did work. And
please be Randy.
It brought out a side of Randy we haven't seen, and that's
so
great.
long.
Yeah.
And by the way, everyone that thinks that they're telling the truth when his career's over, like a week before he was suddenly crippled, might never wrestle again. He was doing interviews talking about how he's going to wrestle forever. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
He said he's got another 10 years left in him. That's not going to suddenly go away in a week.
Going back to divas, glad to see Dewdrop in appropriate, flattering attire. Still, I think is misutilized, and also brings me to other misutilization. Alexis Bliss has come back and run. Just, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I got.
Is she content with what they're doing with her? Like, I know she just got married.
Yeah, I don't think she's
and all
content.
this other.
I think it's a good way to get her. Like, I think it's better than what they gave her before when she did. I'm sure she did all of those therapy things in like one day.
Yeah. I do like her. I do like her character.
Bianca.
It's not complete goddess. It's not the
complete everything. By the way,
whatever that crap is,
whichever one of you it was that put that on there, from all of her evolutions to where she is now. Like, whoever did that, thank you, because I still remember Little Miss Bliss and the goddess and whatever the hell she was, and it's a great. I just think. At least I think just at least they're using her is where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah,
I didn't like them building her with how bad those therapy sessions were.
Yeah,
just to feed her to Bianca, that was dumb.
I think this Bliss is Bliss herself.
Yeah, like I think
kind of like what it's like the Lesnar effect. Okay, you're letting her be her because even from her wrestling entrance theme. Yeah. Okay, that sounds like Alexa Bliss as a person, which I'm fine with. It's just
it's Lexi Cabrera.
Excuse me.
Kaufman.
Fact.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'd look right now, but I like the background behind me. God knows that TV hates me enough, but I think it's a good mixture of everything. And again, now that she's doing that, I mean, I think they're giving her time to figure it out and giving her, so she can get the entrance down and see how crowd reacts. And I know that's not how they're doing it, but that's the way I'm going to take it just to make myself feel better. And I like the song. I like the thing. They got to do something. I mean, I keep seeing rumors about her wanting her and Liv to team up. What they're doing with her now, don't. Sorry. It's just.
No, sorry.
You're both beautiful.
Yeah.
You're both drop dead. You're both dimes, but.
Yeah.
Where her character is and where her character are is just.
Exactly.
They're just. How do I do this so I can? There, I'll be like Randy Orton. You can only see one arm, but like they're just too far away.
Yeah,
I like it, and I want to know why they. Granted, I know how long it takes to get trademarks. I get it. Don't you worry. I get it. I got my one though. It came back. Because didn't they apply to get the trademark for Piper Nevin? I swear they did.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just waiting on that to come back before they switch it back. Because I thought the whole Dewdrop thing, I'm sorry, what that was. Wonder how dumb it was? It lasted about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And even Marie was this isn't working. Bye.
But I think this Dewdrop now is her herself.
Yeah,
like
this way better than what they did there.
Yeah,
like they're letting her be her.
Even from the theme change to the more flattering attire.
I just wish
I
just wish it would have stayed Piper.
I'm just glad.
I get why they did Dewdrop, but
I'm just
be
glad.
her.
Yeah, and it's not the Nia Jax effect. Like the attire is more flattering. Like it fits her. I'm sorry, the singlets just wasn't doing it. And she's a very. If you follow her on Instagram, she's beautiful. Yes,
most of them are.
Yeah,
like the people on there. Like, and I say most of them. I mean, from the Abaddons to the Blue Pants to Piper Nevin Dewdrop. Like some of the people that they dress up to make look like psychopaths are.
Yeah,
some of them they're very beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just there's this whole gimmicky thing. They don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's my only thing out before anyone thinks I'm picking on like plus size women. What I'm happy for them to be whoever the hell they are. I want them to be comfortable in who they are. I hate it when they give them shitty gimmicks.
Yeah.
And stupid attire to fit. Let them be what you will get a better performer out of them if they are comfortable, and you let them be them in some sort of way, not just here to deal with it, play an idiot.
Exactly.
Look at Theory when he first went up. They thought he was too full of himself. Send him down there, get to play a retard. No offense, I'm sorry, an idiot. I apologize, but even though if you buy the definition of retard, what they did to him was actually retarded.
Yeah.
By definition, retarded.
And that actually rolls into that.
Yeah,
actually rolls
and then
into
look
my
at
next
Theory.
subject.
Like look where Theory went from there. But to
Yep.
hear, like, it's completely night and day between what they did to him
yeah.
in NXT
Yeah.
and now. Like just let them be, and just let them be them, and you'll get the best out of it.
Yeah.
Stop fucking with
And
everybody.
that rolls into my next subject. So Theory, I love what they're doing with him.
I hate the
We
selfies.
we get Mr. Cena back June 27th. Do we see Theory and Cena at SummerSlam?
Yes.
I'm saying yes.
Yes. Why they're holding it in July? That one I don't like.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, excuse me. I have this friend, and I didn't see him, and I saw him the year before, after he almost died, and then I almost died, and he was around for my birthday. I believe it was the day after my birthday. Was
Yes.
the night where SummerSlam happened, and it's always been around my birthday in August. So why the fuck are you holding it 3 weeks early at the end of July? What the fuck are you gonna? What? So you could stick another stupid shitty premium live event in the middle?
Probably something Saudi Arabia related, I'm assuming.
Don't even. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll let that go.
In case anyone doesn't know who that friend was. Anyone watching the video? To my left. Ken, I don't know. Am I on your left in your? Or are you on my left in your box?
No, you're on my left. Yeah.
Cool. So we're uneven. Okay.
At least the cameras are,
At least they put that on the same side. There we go. At least never asked that before. We've been doing this for a long time.
Right. See, but that's the thing. I got to put my head right to go left.
Oh, don't worry.
To go right.
Guess
yeah,
what?
I'm
What? See this? This is right. I don't know if you see my head. My point exactly. What? Left? Right. Like it's ass backwards, but yeah, he was here and they had in all that, and they don't need to switch it. I think they're adding too much stupid. I don't like the Saudi shows unless they make them worth something. I don't care about that's not even me being on the Jesse Rosinski show. That's my political side coming in.
I
What's the
think
point?
Sean should have never wrestled. But
Sean should have never wrestled. Kane had his mask knocked off. Triple H had his pec ripped off. It was just
it was a bad day. It was a bad day.
Then we had another show where Taker almost died. Like it was. Hey, but guess what? Mansoor's going to win. 2 thumbs up, Mansoor. What? Because you're actually better than they'll ever give you credit for. They just got you there. So you are the token Saudi Arabian guy when they go over there. I hate to say it that way, but when has he ever been? When has he ever even used?
Calling it right now, the greatest Royal Rumble, the greatest Rumble. I'm pretty sure Mansoor's going to win that, and then finally dethrone Braun Strowman for that title that he's held for.
I bet you that Mansoor's going to go running down the thing, and he's going to trip and fall, and then win. Like he's going to take the fire right from Titus worldwide, and just dumb as hell, by the way, but. It's not his fault.
Does a lot of great charity work.
Super as a human being.
Yes.
He's probably. I mean, Cena's still technically in the company, but minus Cena and all of his Make-A-Wish stuff, like.
Which quick shout out to Cena, what he did for that Ukrainian mom and son, that was great. That was
special needs son.
Yep.
Their whole entire life got completely. Like that was good. I don't.
Yes.
But again, they need to throw that extra out there. What child with special needs going through that, and Cena found him.
Yes.
And got over there and did that was good. Good on, but he's always been good for kids.
Oh yeah.
He just doesn't want to have any kids.
Yeah.
Human beings. Guess what? Jonathan Felix, whatever the hell the other middle name is, Cena. We need another one.
Yeah.
To carry it on.
But brings me to my last random. Thank you, Paul. Brings me to my last thing of randomness. Since we're on Cena, was I saw it on Peacock somewhere. They had recapped it. Cena Michaels, April 23rd, 2007, the hour-long match in London. Dude, that's instant classic. That I seriously, that was great. And it was a Raw moment. It was actually on the Raw Top 100. For an hour, we saw Cena Michaels, and that there was just, I rewatched the match, just pure great wrestling at its
and
best.
Cena might have already been Cena at that point.
I'm pretty sure
he was on his way.
Well, that was around the time where Michaels and H had just finished up that one DX run, and then
I'm saying, like, he was almost he was might as well he was already Cena. He just wasn't Cena. Like the world is your oyster Cena yet. But again, he went an hour with Sean. Like, you go an hour with Sean, what?
Yeah.
You're good.
And good on Sean, for at that age.
And second acts, like, he shouldn't even have been wrestling again. Look at that. Look, he ran out of stuff. It's okay. Remember how blank this paper was?
There you go.
Look at it. It's almost full. Well, it's just, but that was hell of a match.
Yeah.
I haven't been on Peacock since.
I totally forgot about it until I watched it. I'm like, and then I went back. I'm like, that should have been higher. That should have been higher up on the Raw 100, but still great match. Wonderful match.
Well, I can't even think of anything that blew up. No, the DX Express was SmackDown.
That was one of
SmackDown. Like, I was thinking all the big stuff.
A lot of the Vince and Chickens references.
Yeah. And then what's his
from that to impersonating Vince and Shane to literally being dropped on him in the Spirit Squad. Which brings me to my last.
And there's Sean.
Yep. Shut up.
God, that was good. And to answer your question from the meme, that had to be you. I still want to drink beers Stone Cold. I don't want to have it.
Fact.
Don't want to have a barbecue with DX. Even how good it was.
Or Broken Skull Lager. Did I get that right? I'm pretty sure it's Broken Skull Lager. Did I plug that right?
Oh, he has a Broken Skull IPA.
Or IPA,
sorry. But he does have the Broken Skull. He came out with a lager. So I'm guessing it's still the Broken Skull lager.
You're welcome, Steve.
I'm sure he threw it in there. Broken Skull everything, which I still like his show on CMT. And
last completely random thought, and I've said it before. Watch the one with Austin and Rhodes. Still great. One of my favorite episodes.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm so far behind. That's not even because I'm doing so much stuff. I just don't have enough time to sit still. Adding a second human being to the house.
And last random thought, like, I finally, not wrestling related, but I finally got caught up on The Flash. Like, I binge watched like 12 episodes.
Good.
I know how that feeling is.
Yeah, like I've like everything. Like, there's stacks of dust on every, like, pictures I was gonna hang up, like autographs. Like, there's just stacks. Like, when I come in here, I record. Then when
I got my WrestleMania little piece of
the mat.
The mat. Yep.
I saw.
Yeah. 4 easy pays on a firm. I think they use a firm. Is it a firm? Is it a quad? No, a firm. Pretty sure it is.
I wouldn't give Vince any money because Vince hasn't given me shit in a very long time. Okay.
Vince gave me one thing, and here's another random thought. I am in the July 2007 issue of WWE Magazine. That is the only thing Vince has ever given me. Technically the editor, but
I was in July 2007. Heat stroking on a tank trail on Camp Lejeune. Well, you were not in Camp Lejeune.
No, I was in a place that was very hotter without humidity.
Oh my God, would I take 118 degrees over there, over 90 degrees?
Oh yeah, straight up. I hate humidity.
Well, it could be 130. What? It still feels better than like 70 with 100% humidity.
Until you walk into an air conditioning
I don't care.
place, and then you feel the sweat. But that's the only time.
That's the only time I was in heaven for 10 months. I don't know how I didn't fall over dead. But I don't think I have anything.
Nope.
Forbidden Door
I am
should
out
be
of notes.
okay. I like Regal over there doing his thing with AEW with Brian
Yep.
and Yuta. I think it's good for Yuta to be with them. Use Shotzi more. Or Aaliyah. How the hell was Aaliyah going from Aaliyah 317?
I have to
not
say
seeing
the
her?
Shotzi and Ronda thing was cool.
It was a better match than I thought it was going to be.
Is Ronda really injured? I don't think so. That was kind of
Yeah.
like obviously not. Maybe
But-
she is. I don't know. I didn't
but-
see any other articles on it.
Use Shotzi. Like, use Aaliyah. How did she go from being Aaliyah 317 to like we just see her and she's there? Like back when she was talking
Yeah.
to Jeff Hardy backstage. I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But oh, by the way, Tony D'Angelo, he's dumb. His goons are dumb. If I wanted to see people act like fake gangsters, I would turn on Goodfellas. Want to know why? Because it's much more enjoyable.
Exactly.
By the way, have Legato win, have Tony be his goons, have him turn on him, have them do the big match, the big War Games match.
War
together.
Games, yes.
Loser leaves town. Legato loses. Tony gains the thing. They show up at the main roster. You could have done it so perfectly instead of having it done so dumb. And Tony D'Angelo on commentary made me actually want to throw my head through a wall. It wasn't even good on commentary. Like he was just annoying. He said like a sentence here and there. Like that was a waste of time.
I'd rather hear
Could've done
Brian
so much
Saxon. I would rather hear Brian Saxon
Byron.
randomly.
Get it right. I'd rather hear Corey Graves talk about goddamn Carmella.
Fact.
I thought I'd say that. God, but now that we're out of things, see what he talked about, and I only wrote down some of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And that's only the ones I wrote down, and it's only been like an hour and 25 minutes.
21. That's a gambling game right there. You're welcome.
And we didn't even pre-plan anything. I just said ready to go.
Right.
This is his baby. I gave him part of it. But again, the key. I mean, I didn't bring this up with him, but as we close it out, we can give a few minutes about everything. The key for me is audience participation and being there. So if you're listening to this, please find the Facebook page, YouTube, Rumble, and comment, tell us what you think about it, what you want to hear about. And we're gonna, and if you listen to it all, go on. I'll even do polls at the end of Spotify about what you want to hear, because I could put polls on there if you listen there.
Yeah,
I can do that, and we're gonna try to do polls. I can't do polls; it won't let me do it.
Yeah, whether it's
individuals can do polls, but pages can't.
Whether it's a whole random bunch of subjects or one thing, let us know.
And I would try, and I don't know about him, but we'll be back Wednesday, hopefully. But
yes,
I want to say to end out every month, I would like, because Zoom made me upgrade, to be able to do the live one at the end on the Facebook, Rumble, whatever channel everyone prefers, but to get on there and do it then, so you guys can participate in it and tell us what you think. We can have a big old thing, which would be super fun to do it. But this is just the random one. It's just break up the monotony of just how dumb some of it is.
Exactly.
So dumb. Like, what's the point of having Rebel still on the AEW roster? What the hell does she do? She just stands there. At least Jamie Hayter can wrestle. And her ass is the size of a Winnebago. Like, Rebel literally just stands there the whole time, nodding her head. What's the point of that? Yeah, I would love to do it like 3 recorded and put up there, and you guys comment, and we get a whole month's worth of comments and polls and all that stuff done. And then at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, whatever everyone prefers, start or end it, and just talk about all kinds of stuff, because then you guys can be live. Yeah, guys can comment on it while we're going, because they pop up in the bottom. Like, we could go and do that.
And again, if we get those ideas, we will comment with who gave us the idea. You will get the credit. We want this to be interactive.
Yeah.
So please give us the ideas,
because people need, good show. Like, everyone needs to, because there's not really any of them. Like, there's so much going on, like across all of it, like just stupid rumors, everything. Talk about it. And again, whether you prefer whatever works out good for us, whatever everyone wants, whether it's the last show of the month or the first show of the month, like the last one, so we can have a whole month full of bullshit and then go forward. But again, we could also do it at the beginning to start off with everything, whatever. But we're gonna, he's an admin, so he could put, even if we can't make polls, which won't let me, so we could just put, what do you guys think, A, B, C, and D, and then comment. We could still, and we could see everyone that writes down the letter in the comments.
Right.
We can go from there, which is, the whole point of it's to bring, because there's so much monotony in the stupid that they keep writing.
Yes.
Look, I'm smiling. Like it's so dumb. I can't think of a better word than it's so dumb, but like, it'll be a good thing. That's what the point, and to get Justin back, because we were on a roll last year. Then, I went camping, life happened, all those things, take time. Again, I didn't have nearly as bad stuff happen to me, but we both went through some stuff. Life happened, but this is a way to give it back once a week to, let you guys know that we appreciate you for still being here and checking us out. And because I really do, like, he didn't get to look at it for forever. I still look every day, like, and I appreciate you guys so much. And especially Austin on Good Pods. Thank you for, he doesn't have it, so he can't see it. But if you get Good Pods, you could then see it if you click on there. Like, thank you, Austin. We appreciate it. I'll even make him download Good Pods, but I'm going to listen to his stuff. Like all of his shows on Tuesday, because I don't record on Tuesday. So I'm going to listen to him and let him know anything, but he's commenting, he's sharing, like he's doing a good job. So thank you. And everyone on Good Pods on that thing. And again, Twitter, Wrestling Ski. Like, and he can go on there, do it in live stuff too, and just write Justin at the end of it. But just, obviously he's with J Mills or whatever the hell your name is. But we could do that. Like, we do all kinds of stuff. We're trying to get more interactive so you guys can get your feelings across, because without you guys, they're not wrestling and we're not doing this. And that's really my big takeaway. And I think that's a perfect spot for me to leave it. I just want to say thank you to everyone again. Good Pods, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook page, all the people on there. There's that number has been staying. So please, everyone listening to this, go on Facebook and share it out to all your people regardless. Find the page, follow along, like, and share them out. Go on YouTube, because the more you like, subscribe, rate, like, and all that. And on Facebook, the higher it goes up in people's searches when they look for wrestling, which helps us out and helps it grow. If you ever want to be on, like I told Austin, I got a wrestling show with Judgement. You can come on any day of the week and twice on Sunday, as long as I'm not doing anything, and we'll make the schedules work.
Yeah.
To get you on here so we can all talk wrestling. You just have to let me stare at your face on Zoom and put that up there, because, well, if they're looking at my ugly ass, they're looking at everybody's ugly ass. I only have a half tooth, but thank you, everybody. Again, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Castbox, Good Pods. I'm telling you, Good Pods, it's a great one. There's all kinds of other shows on there, so follow along on all of them. And it was fun. We covered 20 million things. We didn't take forever. Hell, me and Chuck only talk about like 4 things. We went way longer than you and me did. Granted, he was on a soapbox this week on the race. Like, he woke up late and he was just going. I sat there going, you can literally watch the video. Chairs kicked back, my legs up here going,
you okay?
You got anything? Nah, keep going. And we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about more stuff. Hopefully Justin will put out some stuff to look for topics, and maybe we'll get out. You can screen share, maybe, if you can, on here, and do the roulette wheel. You just click, and from fans' ideas once a week, like we do 1 week us, 1 week their stuff, 1 week us, and then the big one to end the week. The end of the month, we could do that because there's free wheels and you could watch him do it and we could just go. But I love y'all. I appreciate it. Happy, Sunday to you. Don't forget wrestling all week. I'll be back tomorrow. Talk about Friday. Thankfully, there isn't that much, so you don't have to hear that voice too bad. But I'm out. So enjoy your Sunday. Justin, you got anything?
That's it for me, brother.
Okay, well, enjoy your week. Thanks for checking us out. Please don't forget to share it out and follow along. Sharing it's the big one because it gets it out to more people. And until Wednesday, peace.